So guys, if you would like to install the, if you would like to download the CloneZilla server, basically what you need to look for is a CloneZilla live server. Well, it will be a live CD, so we're not going to install it. There is an option also to be installed. So here it is, CloneZilla live server. Basically, what I'm going to choose here is CloneZilla live on a Pixie server. Okay. I'll find out here also the server edition. You see, this is the second, fourth, the sixth here, and it's a Debian. It's based on Debian, basically, and I could download an ISO file for a CD or DVD. I already did it. Basically, it's in your folder when you go to your folder, to my folder, basically. Okay, when you go there to Ascend Grozdanov, you're gonna find it. There are two editions there. One is the 64-bit and the other one is 32. Now, because I mean, consider what machines you're gonna use. I'm gonna use one of my virtual machines I already created. So basically, because they're 64-bit, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Yes, they're 64-bit. I'm gonna use the 64-bit edition. But if you're gonna use it on a 32-bit edition, you have the choice here to use the 32-bit edition, which is actually the i686. This is the 32-bit edition of the CloneZilla server. Okay. Now, there are some preliminary steps we need to do before starting what we're gonna do. First, we need to decide what exactly we're gonna clone. Okay. First, we need to know what we're gonna clone, what we're gonna create an image of. Okay. I'm gonna create an image from for this Windows 8 clone machine, so I need to create basically new ones, and you know the procedure for that. Before doing the clone, obviously it's a good idea to check the network. I'm gonna try to use the NAT network to see if it will be working again, and all the settings obviously supposed to be like before done. And I'm gonna do a clone, actually 2 clones of this machine. I'm gonna need 2 clones of this Windows 8.1. So I'm gonna create one of them. That will be the number. Well, I'm gonna choose 01 in that case. It will be a full clone. I'm gonna reinitialize my MAC address and I'll do it. So my first clone has been done. I'm gonna move it out of my source directory, and I'm gonna create the next one. Okay, that would be 02. Again, I'm gonna reinitialize the MAC address, and I'll do the clone for this one too. Okay, my 2 clone machines has been installed. And I'm gonna start them just to double check if they're working fine. I'm gonna start both of them to see if there are some problems. Okay, just would like to be sure they will work fine. So I'm gonna check both to see if they will work. Basically, what I need to do also, if you know, I need to change the name of one of them, because both of them will be having the same name. So I'm gonna accept the network, which is asking me to join. I'm gonna do this on the second machine too, and afterwards, while on the initial screen, I'll do CMD, and I'll do the same on the other side. Just would like to be sure that my MAC addresses are different, my IP addresses are different, as well as that the name is the same. Basically, I need to verify this. As well as you know, I'm gonna change the color of my desktop, just to be much more easy to see which one is which one. So I'll do ipconfig all on this side. And as we expect, the name of the both machine is the same. Something we need to change while this machine will be working in the same network. Okay, it's a bit, they're supposed to be with different names. Otherwise, we're gonna have trouble. Here they're the same. Now the physical address or the MAC address here And here, obviously, if you check the last two, obviously it's different, so that's okay. The IP version 4, here one of them, and here the other one. Well, obviously they're different, and they're on the same network also. I see also my default gateway, same, the HTTP server the same, and the DNSs are the same, which are the school ones, so I'm pretty sure I'm having internet. I'm not going to check this, it's not important for me now, but just to let you know that this one is okay too. So what I'm going to do basically on this machine, on the Clone 2 machine, I'm going to change very fast the color of my desktop to be easy to differentiate among them. And the other thing what I'm going to do is to change the name. So I'm going to use this type of color, and then I'm going to change the name of this machine just to be sure that this machine won't interfere with the other one while they're working in the same network. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to change to PC1. Okay. So I'm going to have a computer. The first clone will be called PC, and the second clone will be called PC1. And I'm going to restart obviously this machine. While I'm waiting the machine to be rebooted, what I'm going to do, basically you could find out what I'm going to copy from my desktop. You could find it again in my folder. Here it is. When you go to my folder there, all these images, you could find it basically. So it is in my folder, subfolder 4 install with underscore in front. So this one, the third file, BV SSH server. It stands from Bitwise. Well, it's if you would like to download it, obviously you could go to download Bitwise SSH. Okay. It has some limitation when it's the free version, but for us it will be good enough. Okay. Well, that's the client basically. You need to click on the server download. Okay. And it's it's pretty straightforward installation. You're gonna see it. I downloaded it from this side. Okay. And it's already in my subfolder which I showed you there. So what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting, basically I'm gonna just drag and drop on my first clone machine. I'm gonna copy it there. Okay, after the reboot of my first machine, I was able to copy it now. So basically the installation of the SSH server, pretty straightforward. You just click twice on it and do next, basically. Now, after the installation itself, because there will be some SSH key, the keys which are supposed to be exchanged between the client and the server. As you remember, when we're accessing through SSH, we are prompted for this. So a reboot of the machine will be needed. So I agree to end user license agreement. I'll choose the default option here, like install the new Bitwise server on default instance. And I'm going to run the Bitwise SSH server control panel after. I'll click in install, and you're going to see on the next window, you're going to see what are the limitations for the personal edition which we're going to use. Okay, the standard edition, and basically we need to pay for it. So the personal edition, but this limitation won't affect us, okay, for what we would like to show. They will affect us if we try to do more extensive installations. So it's good enough for me. I'll click OK on this thing. I'll use a shortcut of putting my credentials there, and basically it will be installed. On the right side, if you see my other CloneZilla, my other Windows 8.1 clone has been back with the new name. We're going to check it actually now. And I'm going to, while I'm waiting my SSH server on the first machine to be installed, I'm going to check also all the properties here too. So I'll check here ipconfig Okay, on that side as well. And as you see now, the names are different. Okay, the host name is different. This one's different too. So that's what we need, okay? And all of the other prerequisite, the IP addresses and the subnet mask and so on and so forth there, okay? So what I'm gonna lastly to do from here, I'm gonna ping from the first machine, I'm gonna ping the second one. So 10.0.2.18, just to confirm that there is a connectivity between both. As you see on that side there is, and I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, as you see, I have connectivity between the both machines, so it seems okay. Okay, now it says that the bitwise SSH server installer has been finished, the installation has been completed, and it says it's okay that we could reboot now. So to have, as you see also, it says when you see the control panel, it says that the public key authentication and the virtual accounts and so on and so forth will work after Windows would be restarted. So without any delay, we're gonna reboot this machine again. Just to double check if there is a network connectivity after installation of the SSH server, and just to verify that the SSH server is working. And basically afterwards, I'm going to shut down this machine again, and I'm going to add a hard drive to it. So let's go and see if the SSH server control panel will start. It is shown there, okay? And I could now go and shut down this machine. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, as I said, on the first machine, on my first clone, I'm going to add, so I'm going to go to the settings, I'll go to the storage, and I'm going to add additional hard drive. I'm going to click here on the plus, which says add hard disk, and I'm going to create a new disk. It will be VHD, again, because it's a, it could be a VDI, no problem. I'm just choosing VHD always when I'm using Windows. Dynamically allocated. The name will be, let's say, I'm going to call it storage 1. And I'm going to click a little bit in front of the scroll, and I'm going to choose 50 gigabyte. If I check here my machine, which I'm going to make an image of, and if I go to this one, you're going to see the virtual size is 40 gigabyte, and the actual size, which is at the moment, because it's dynamically, as you see, allocated storage, it's only about 8 gigabyte. Now, because this is 40, and I would like this one to be, you know, well, I could choose 40 on that side. Actually, it's a good idea to choose 40. On the new machine we're going to create, basically there we're going to choose 50. So I'll created it. I'll do OK, and I'll start it again. So now it is back. So basically what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the my file manager. I'll right click on this PC and go to manage. And once I'm there, I'm going to go to disk management. Obviously, I'm going to be prompted to initialize the disk one, which I just added. I'm going to choose the default master boot record, and I'm going to do the default steps. Actually, I'm going to right click on the unallocated space. I'll do new simple volume, do next, next. I'm going to choose the letter F instead of E, because I guess it has been taken already from the network location. I'll put here storage 1 as a name of my storage, and I'm going to be sure that perform a quick format will be checked, because otherwise it will take too much time to format it. I'll do finish, and basically it will appear very, very fast. Here it is. If I click on it, obviously I'm going to be able to open the newly created storage there. and I could see it now. Here it is. Okay, so I mean, we did this before. That's just the preparation we to start doing our exercise from now on. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to shut down the machine 2, the clone 2 machine, from which I need to create the image afterwards. I'm going to create the image of the whole disk. I'm going to click on the settings and I'm going to shut it down. Now, once it's done, I'm going to go to my second machine from which I'm going to take the image. I go to the settings. I'll go to the storage. I'll click my empty CD and I'm going to choose from my desktop. I'm going to choose the CloneZilla Live Edition, this one which is the 64-bit edition. Okay. I'll be sure that my system here will start from the optical disk. That's okay. And I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to increase a little bit. Well, basically, I'm going to increase with 1 GB my RAM memory. Don't do this, guys, because you're going to go out of memory. If you remember, my computer is a little bit faster. So I'll increase it just to be a little bit faster, the machine itself. And I'll start from it. And as we expect now, the live distribution will start. Okay. I'll click enter. The next 2 screens will be 3 screens. Actually, I just need to click enter, enter, enter to confirm what is asking me. If you want, you could change. It's about the keyboard, about the languages, things which we choose default. So here's the first one for the language. I'm going to use the default one. Then for the key maps, the same thing. And the mode which they're giving me, I'm going to choose the default one as well. And basically, now it will start from the live CD. Once again, it's a Debian based, and it's a CloneZilla. Here how it looks. Now, just to show you, see the gparted here, the small program, we used it already, if you remember from Hi-Res. I'm going to open it now, just to show you how my disk looks like. Okay. Well, here how it looks. There is a small partition in front. All of them are NTFS, and there is a small unallocation part at the end, which is fine. We have no trouble with this. And it's 40 GB. So this is where my Windows basically is installed. That's what I'm seeing here on this gparted partition tool. Okay. Now, to take an image, I need to click on the CloneZilla Live. You see there are 2 icons here, CloneZilla Live and CloneZilla Server. Initially, so to take the image, so to do the first stage of the process, I need to click on the Live icon. Okay, I'll click twice on the Live icon. Now I'm going to be prompted either to take an image of the whole, I'm going to create an image and afterwards deploy the image, or I could do it device by device. So if I have on the other side another device, I could eventually directly send the image there. I don't want this. I would like to create an image. So I'm going to choose the first option. With tab key, I'm going to navigate to OK. Click OK. Now here's the option. If I would have a USB, what I told you here, guys, if I would have instead of this schema, if I just would have on a different hard drive or a USB drive in my case here, I would have used the first option. But because I have no such and I have an SSH server, I'm going to choose the second option. And if you would like to see, there are some more. If you could use the Samba server, NFS server, network file system server, WebDAV server, which is a kind of FTP, Amazon server, Swift server for OpenStack, to go to the shell and to do some stuff to skip this action. You see, there are a lot of choices. We're going to choose the next one, the second one, the SSH server, and I'm going to click OK here. Now, it's asking me for the IP address of my server. Well, let's check what is the IP address of this server. I'm going to write down CMD here. I'll open it on the whole screen, and I'll do ipconfig all. Okay, and as we see, my IP address here basically is 217. So basically what I write down here is 17. Then I'm going to click OK. Now the default port for SSH communication, if you don't change it, it's 22. So I'm going to choose 22, which is the default. Now it's asking me for root, which is, it presumes that I'm going to work in a Unix-like environment. I don't work in this one. If I would like to check what is mine, basically it's pretty simple here. You go right click on this PC, you go manage, you go to local users and groups. If you don't know who you are, I know I'm a SEN. I just would like to show you how to find it out otherwise, okay? And you need to change here to a SEN. So this guy is supposed to be administrator on the system, okay? Otherwise, the connection most probably will be interrupted. It will say you have not enough rights to do this, okay? So that's the guy who I'm going to use. Now, it's asking me where this image will be saved, or because it's working the both direction basically, from where to be taken. Okay, in my case, it will be taken from F drive. Okay, this one here, and will be put it on F drive as well. So in my case, in the beginning here is where to be put at this image. So I'm gonna, oops, sorry. Again. So let's so the F is the name of the storage. Okay. So as you see, I'm prompted to enter the. I mean, first I need to accept the key which has been the SHA key which has been configured, and you need to write yes, not only Y. And afterwards, I need to put my password for the user ascend, which I put it. And as you see now, it's connected. On the left side, it shows what's going on. I'm going to choose here the export mode of taking of the image. Okay. I'm going to obviously save the disk. As you see, I could save partitions as well. But for now, I'm going to stick for the disk. For the whole disk will be taken. So it won't be a single partition. It will be the whole disk taken. That's what I would like to emphasize on. Okay. I'll click OK here. And this is the name of the image. I'm going to put another, basically what when it starts working, you're going to see it created here as a folder. So I'm going to put here another, because we're going to try to do this on Linux as well. So I'm going to put win here because there will be several images stored. So to know which one is which one. The dashes basically replaces the dots here. Okay. So click OK. And it will ask me which hard drive to take from. Okay. Basically, there is only one. If you remember, I showed it to you here on the. Let me show it to you again on the gparted. Yeah, this is the SDA drive. Okay. This one will be taken. Okay, so I'll click OK on this one. The whole disk will be taken, and this is the final one of the final thing before starting here. I mean, these are options we could check. They will tweak a little bit the overall taking of the image and storing it and so on and so forth. For now, I'm not gonna do anything here. I'll click OK. This is how it will. The new image will be compressed. It will. I'll choose the first, the default one. Now, if I use this option here, eventually if it's a little bit bigger, or if it's bigger, the image will be splitted. I don't want to be splitted, and if you read there, they will say use a big number. So I'm just going to use three additional zeros. I'm going to put here. So eventually, the image which I'm going to take do not be splitted on parts. And I'm going to skip the checking of the disk. For now, we're in a lab. We don't need this. And I'm going to skip the checking of the saved image as well. When you do it properly, I mean in a production, obviously you need to do this. I'm not going to encrypt the image. I'm going to reboot after finishing the imaging. And basically, once I click on this Y, as you see, my folder has been created on the left side. Okay, there is a, the imaging is starting, and it will take image first of the first partition, then the other one. They will be combined, and it will be sent here. Okay, if you click there, you're gonna see it starting, putting the zipped image of the gzipped image of my disk. Okay, you could. The recording and the broadcast. So as you see, when it's done, there will be some going on, locks. You're gonna see some rows of text here, and at the end you're gonna see press enter to continue, which basically says that the image has been taken, and basically it's done. Okay, so